I'm Shirley Macon Thomas. Welcome to the Shirley You Can Too podcast. Thank you for being here. Let's get into it. What if the thing you didn't get is the reason everything worked out for the best beyond your wildest imagination? What if the path I was sure was mine didn't happen the way I planned? I was so set on the specific start date for my dental hygiene program. This was over 20 years ago, 21 years ago to be exact. And I remember it like it was yesterday. In my mind, my plan was to take my last class, my last science class, which was physiology, and then apply to the dental hygiene program. The way it works is this particular program begins every, I believe it's 8 months. And so if you don't get in, then you have to wait another 8 months to apply. And so in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm going to pass physiology, and then I'm going to get into this class, and I'm going to start, and I'll be done by this date. Apparently, God, universe had other plans, because that's what I wanted at the time. I already decided that was my path. But no, I struggled with physiology. I remember begging the instructor to pass me, pleading with her, telling her I needed this class. I needed it because I have to apply. This was the look she gave me. She was like, talk to the hand. And yeah, basically she told me to withdraw. No freaking way. And she wasn't trying to hear me at all. So I had no choice. I had to withdraw. And I was so mad. I was mad at her. She was wrong, frustrated. I was upset, but what could I do? What could I do? You see, this is part of what holding the vision and not the circumstances mean. I was going to be a hygienist. Told everybody. I started writing my name, Shirley Macon Thomas, with RDH behind my name. I just knew. And so hold the vision, not the circumstances. I'm like, okay, I just continued to work at the gym at the time. I was also the group exec manager at Valley Total Fitness. So fine, I worked. Again, I didn't see it any other way, but I surrendered. This is where sometimes you just have to pivot. Like, okay, this didn't happen. Let's do this. The pivot was I took the class again. I continued to work. Fine. But what happened, the magic that unfolded from me surrendering and allowing was amazing, because I ended up taking the class in Oakland at a different college, and I met Herlinda, my classmate Herlinda, and she happened to have a home in Tulare, which is a town next to Visalia, which is where I ended up going to hygiene school. And she was like, you should, plan to buy a house out there. So long story short, we did. We ended up buying a house out there, but if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have had our first home. And also, there's so much more. The class I got into was also much better, because that is where I met Vanessa, my dear friend Vanessa, and Portia, which Portia became my roommate. It's a long story. I was her roommate, and then when I bought the house, she became my roommate. But Vanessa and Porsche were also from the Bay Area and also had kids. So we all wanted to go home on the weekends to see our kids when my family didn't come to see me. And if I got into the class that I thought I wanted, I wouldn't have had these amazing, car mates to travel back and forth with. So that in itself was magical. And we had our first home. We bought our first home in Tulare. And then when I graduated, we found our first puppy, Zoe, our very first puppy, our pug. And he happened to be, we found him out there in the valley. And That was the unexpected path. And this happened again because I surrendered and I allowed. This is practicing non attachment. And sometimes we're so attached to the plan, we miss that life is trying to give us something better. I invite you to trust and ask yourself, where are you gripping too tightly? Where are you trying to control everything? And how is that working for you? And just think, what if your path is working and just not what you expected, just not in the way you expected? And what my mentor, coach, says often and reminds us is it's this or something better, this or something better. And my reminder to you, hold the vision and not the circumstances. So no matter what, this is going to happen. You'll get thrown off, but just keep going towards your dreams and what your heart truly desires. And again, if this message resonated with you or you know someone that could benefit from this, please pass it along. And a reminder, you can find me on Instagram or on YouTube, Shirley You Can Too, spelled SHIRLEYOUCANTOO. Thank you so much for being here. I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.